So only one video this week, partially because I'm a little bit late. That's totally on me. And the other partial is that I just don't feel like doing three videos. But this is a case study. It was a random case study. It's not even a client. It's someone that I met through this group. They are in the healthcare space. They now are part of a larger community in terms of peers and stuff. And we connect and we're just chatting back and forth in terms of life and family and things like that. And then he starts to ask in terms of what I do. And he's like, this is really interesting. And of course I say, well, let's play the game for 3 minutes and see if there's a way to help you. Now, he was in the car, so he's like, I'm a visual guy, so this might be really hard for me. I was like, that's okay. But let's let's give the high level numbers here in terms of what's going on. Now, he lives in a pretty modest area, nothing on the coasts in terms of California, New York, where you're talking, multi-million dollar houses, anything like that. So house value is about 350,000. That might be a little bit high, but whatever it is. Okay. So I just ask, what are the loans that you have? So do you still have a loan on the house? Yep. Have a loan on the house. Mortgage is 115. How much is the payment? 1,700. About 450 a month is escrow. 1,250 is the actual mortgage. Great. Have any student loans? Because again, he's in the healthcare space. Does. Student loans, I think he said it was about $56,000, and that was costing 600 a month. Any credit card debt? Nope, paid off. Any medical debt? You know, children, or he was in the hospital for a long period of time? Nope, thankfully, no. Cars? Yes, we've got two car notes. I'm just going to total these together. 23,000 of debt, and it's costing about 900 bucks a month. Okay. So 1,500. So in terms of actual payments, okay, towards debt, it's 2,750. Again, this is escrow. So if we were going to add the escrow in, we're talking $3,200 a month. Now, the people that I speak to know that I hate escrow. Hate it. You are putting money aside that is earning zero interest for you and helping someone else, all for the convenience of your taxes are going to get paid. I would rather keep that $450 a month for myself, hold on to it for 360 days, lower my own debt balance, and then pay the bill when I need to. It's just a smarter use of capital. But if we want to be super technical here, this is the number, the 2,750, that's actual payments. Okay. So we got that. Now cash flow is about $1,000 a month in terms of how he's living his life right now. So notice, I have no idea how much this person is making. I have no idea how much they actually spend. I know $3,200 right now of what they spend, but I don't know in terms of the overall lifestyle. And I really don't care. Okay. But what I do care about is, and this was the magic right here, how much cash do you have sitting in the bank right now? $200,000. And do you have it sitting at Hell's Cargo or Crank of America where you're making nothing? He's like, no, I've got it somewhere where it's earning 4%. Okay, great. So have this snapshot in your mind. Okay. And I should have said right here, the total debt, we're going to call it $200,000. It's almost right down to the penny. So 79, 115, 194. So let's just call it $200,000 of debt. Now, he then goes on to say the mortgage is at like 2.75%. The student loan is at 3% or 3.5%. Both car notes are 1.9% or less. I said, that's great. I don't care what the interest rate is. There's a better way to play the game. Why don't you pay all of the debt off with all of your cash? And he's like, why would I do that? Because the interest rates are so low and I am earning more than what the interest rates are. And here's the magic statement. Doesn't matter what the interest rate is. I am looking at what are your payments? What are your payments on this? So I'm going to wipe this out and I'm going to just bring the super high level stuff that we need on the next thing. So debt, 200,000, and it's costing $27.50 a month. I'm even excluding the escrow. Okay. Now 27.50 times 12 months is $33,000 a year. I said right now on your cash, with you earning 4%, you're earning $8,000 a year. And this is taxable. Would you rather, because from a cash flow perspective, if this is where our cash flow level is right now, in order for us to earn more cash, or cash flow, I should say, we need to either earn more income or save on payments. Both will work. Go up or go down. Both will work. So I said to the person, do you want to earn $8,000 a year, or would you rather save $33,000 a year tax-free? And he's like, well, save 33,000. I was like, then pay off all the debt. But here's why he's not doing it. Number one, it's a total braingasm. That's part one. Part two is he will lose all of his liquidity. He's got 200,000 in cash. The cash is what lets you sleep well at night. If you now immediately eliminate all of your sleeping ability to pay off all the debt, and now something will happen, now you're screwed. So this is why we get the home equity line of credit first. And in his state, I think we can go to 90%, definitely 85. So on a $330,000, $350,000 house, we can have access to cash of $300,000. That now becomes the liquidity buffer. So we have a $300,000 buffer. We can use the $200,000 cash we have now to pay the $200,000 of debt off. And now we just netted $25,000 per year in cash flow. Living the same lifestyle, it now cost us less. And even while he was driving his car at 70 miles an hour, I could hear his brain turning in terms of like, oh my God, he's right. Like, oh my God, he is right. Now, we could argue in terms of the student loan because that's a super efficient debt. The debt compared to the payment that he has to make. We could keep that, but just for simplistic purposes, we've got 200,000 of debt. We have 200,000 of cash. We've got a house that we can get a first position home equity line of credit and have access to cash of $300,000 when that is all paid off. So we lift the burden from fixed debt payments, and here by a net of $2,000 a month. We increased or expanded our cash reserves. He had 200,000, and even after paying all of the debt off, it is now up to 300,000. Now that we've increased the cash flow, now that we've increased the emergency fund, now we can deploy the other dollars into other assets. So this is how we play the game. And this is it. This is everything in 2 slides and 8 or 9 minutes. This is how we think in terms of how do we optimize? How is money moving through our lives? And so this was just basically a gift from one dad brother to another in terms of like, yeah, this is what you can do. The nice part is that he was meeting 30 of his peers for a weekend conference. And I think I got him thinking like, oh my God, I can help a ton of them. So we'll see what happens, but this is the only video we need this week. This sums up everything in terms of how you can play this game. And if you're wondering what the results can be for you, type results in the comments below, and then we'll see you next week.